Oi! Welcome to the TFU, and this is the Not So Grandstand podcast. We have just watched the Champions League ceremony thing and the draw. And as flies, we are stuck to goats. Mutations, accidents, wars, and crime will always stay a factor. But ourselves and science evolves. I like to say, I love football.
Eric Cantona!
Bless up,
Did
bless
you
up.
memorize all of that? Bro?
No,
That was a
that's
lot.
long.
That was a
No,
lot.
his was longer. His was longer. I don't know for a minute. Yeah. So basically, Cantona got some award for lifelong something.
The President's Award.
And the President's Award.
The only
The only award that I can get to decide.
So it's very
As he
special to
says.
me.
So he walks up to the stage. You know, like, man is wearing casual clothes.
Everyone else is in suits. You know?
Yeah, bro. He has that like nice hat.
Red
collared
button-up shirt.
You know,
Just like some chinos and some
Yeah.
shoes.
nice beard there. Walks up, and then he goes, collects the thing. He looks at it. Everyone is speaking, and he's just like looking at it. It's like, wow. And then they ask him like, "Yo, how do you feel about getting this award? What do you have to say?" And he said that
And then
everyone was confused.
He recited a poem. That's what it sounded like
A
at least.
beautiful poem.
A beautiful poem.
Beautiful poem.
I love football.
I love this game.
That wasn't a good accent.
But in any case, the draw was interesting. What do you guys think about the draw?
The host Han was doing a good job. You know, the Messi Ronaldo banter was really nice. I liked it. Are we talking about like the
We're
actual
talking about
draw?
the draw.
Oh, the draw.
Okay, so I'll quickly
I'm
run.
with you on that one. I thought it was the Ballon d'Ors for a second. You know what I mean, eh? You know what I mean, eh?
Listen,
So-
By the way, this is Michael's debut.
Hello.
Shout out.
nah, you're
Hello.
supposed to say Mtama and then it was gonna be
Good one, Tino.
like.
Okay, so I'll run through the groups quickly, and then we'll discuss from there. So Group A, PSG, Real Madrid, Club Brugge, Galatasaray. Group B,
Nah, but you're doing it wrong. Paris, Saint-Germain.
Paris.
Shout out Wesley Schneider.
Yo, he fat.
Yeah.
You think, bruh?
We don't body shame over here.
We don't
guys.
body shame
Yeah,
Edson, bruh.
Who
He's
said I
going
was
through a
shaming?
lot.
If he's
Well
fat, he's
rounded.
fat. I
No,
didn't say
he's
it's
not
bad.
fat, he's
He's
thick.
fat.
He's thick, yeah. We
He's
like
thick,
a big
yeah.
bodied male. No homo.
Group B, Bayern, Tottenham, Olympiacos, and Red Star Belgrade. Group C, City, Shakhtar Donetsk, Dynamo Zagreb, and Atalanta. Group D, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, and Lokomotiv Moscow. Group E, Liverpool, Napoli, Salzburg, Genk. Group F, Barcelona, Dortmund, Inter Milan, and Slavia Prague. Group G, Benfica, Zenit, Lyon, and Leipzig. And Group H, Chelsea, Ajax, Valencia, and Lille. So, we'll start off Group A.
Pussy Tao, boys. Pussy Tao. We in this thing.
Bitch.
Yeah, we in this beat. Yeah. Anything to say?
PSG and Real Madrid. That's gonna be an interesting
It's
one.
gonna be an
Yeah.
expensive tie.
It's gonna be a very expensive tie. That's true. PSG might not even go through.
Yeah, it
Probably.
really might be like a Galatasaray and Real Madrid.
What's up, Bruges?
Yeah, Pussy
You know,
Tao.
Mignolet, boys. Mignolet. Don't
Yeah,
forget
bro.
Migs.
Tao.
So yeah, but that
Yeah,
group,
it's a dead group.
it's a bit
Nothing's
average.
exciting,
Nothing's
yeah.
that exciting. As well as I think Group B with Bayern, Tottenham, and those guys. It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
but I mean, like the Red Star game, that last season, going to Red Star, that was a difficult game. Liverpool lost, and I think PSG drew. So that could be interesting for Bayern or Tottenham to go there and lose, but feels kind of boring. Then Group C. Once again, the warm balls are in play here. It might a little bit rigged. Hey, Pep got in there like, hey, listen, I haven't won Champions League yet with these Jets. Please give me some help. And then they're like, okay, wait, we'll give you Shakhtar, Dinamo Zagreb, and Atalanta.
Yeah, that group was
Crazy.
weird, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, he dodged all the big teams or difficult opponents in the draw. So
I don't know if you folks are watching us, but the TV image started glitching out during the Man
Yeah,
City.
it was like it blacked out, and it was like, hey, we know things are happening here. So I mean, that group, it just feels kind of dead. Like,
is the mic on?
yeah.
Just joking.
So yeah, that group feels kind of dead. I mean, let's hope City don't go through, but I mean, they'll probably
They're
go
going
through
to.
and then bottle it later on. So
I don't know.
Group D, which is, I mean, close to a group of death, but it doesn't feel like there really is one this year. Because I mean, it's Juventus, Atletico Madrid, and then Leverkusen and Lokomotiv Moscow. It's like, again, it doesn't feel like anything crazy is gonna happen there. Nothing to say.
No, I think, considering what happened last season between Juventus and Atletico Madrid, I think we'll be in for some.
Yeah, definitely. There's gonna
Some
be
good
that's gonna be a
ties
good
there.
game. You know, Ronaldo destroyed them like he said he was going to.
Yeah.
Shout out
And they'll lose
CR7.
again.
Oh, you guys can't see it.
Just chill, please.
There you go.
We really love one balls on this channel.
No. Oh, he didn't say it. Group E, Liverpool and Liverpool and Napoli come up against each other again, and then there's Salzburg and Genk.
In that group, I think those are going to be the qualifications the way they are. You know, the way they stand.
Yeah, that's
We'll
gonna-
go through Napoli, Salzburg, and then Genk. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Moving on to what is probably the closest to the group of death with Barca, Dortmund, Inter Milan, and then Slavia Prague. So that'll be. I mean, Prague probably won't. They'll be lucky to get a draw. They'll be happy with that out of all of those results. But
look,
then,
Inter Milan are going to go through. I'm just saying.
This is only Prague's second Champions League, so you know it's a nice group to be in, I guess, if you're there for the experience. Because
Yeah,
I don't think they wake up in the morning thinking, today we're gonna win this one.
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's just we get to go to Barcelona, we
Yeah,
get to go to
facts.
Inter Milan, we get
it's
to
like the FA Cup, you know, like when those small teams draw the Premier League teams.
yeah.
You know.
It's not it's that like there's the small chance that if you win,
Major upset.
it's
upset.
massive.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you just got to enjoy it.
You see, and whoever comes third in this group
Yo,
might be a
Europa
Champions
League?
Europa League finalist.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things for all the other groups as well. So a lot of the
Yeah.
things it's a fight for third place.
Yeah.
As well. So
But again, it's like that feels like the first like proper big team that's gonna come into Europa League.
yeah.
Unless it ends up that like, for instance, if Dortmund really suck and Slavia Prague come third,
Yeah.
but that feels unlikely.
Yeah.
And then this group G, I feel like is actually the best group in terms of like how competitive it might be
I
and
agree.
who's gonna finish where, because it's Zenit, Benfica, Lyon, and Leipzig. So it's all teams that feel like similar level. Lyon might be the biggest there, Lyon and Leipzig, just because of the leagues that they're in. But it feels like anyone can go through, and that's very, very tight and competitive. And then also whoever finishes third can go far in Europa League there for sure.
And then it's going to be a difficult away game for all of those teams. Definitely.
Russia. It's always the Russians.
Time
Well-
zone, racism, whatever you need, they got it there, bro.
Hey, bro, it's tough.
Okay, and then Group H, I feel like is also similar to Group G, with Chelsea, Ajax, Valencia, and Lille. It's gonna be quite competitive. It's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
there isn't like an obvious thing happening there. It's not like okay, City are going through.
So
And
this
then-
this is the group of death then, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biggest names.
Yeah,
most
because like
competitive.
the other thing that also makes it nice is because like all the teams play attacking football, you know. So
Yeah.
like this team is just known for its defensive qualities and it's gonna make everything boring.
Facts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
all
and
these
also
teams can punch, understand?
Mm.
So
and also given Chelsea's status this season, it's kind of, I guess you could say it's leveled the playing
Yeah.
field.
yeah.
So it's going to be a good group.
But yeah, so then with that let's give predictions real quick for each group for the whole thing, because you know third place does matter because it then goes who goes into the Europa League.
Yeah.
So for Group A, I feel like Real Madrid have that thing in Champions League still where they just win. So it's going to be Real Madrid, PSG, Galatasaray, and then Club Brugge.
Hectic.
Club Brugge is finishing third.
Final set. They're finishing second. PSG will make it up.
Yeah.
I'm going for Real Madrid, PSG, Galatasaray, and Bruges.
Like,
But I'm curious to see, what the Madrid squad's gonna look like.
Yeah, they might
Yeah,
not even
Is,
make it out.
is Bale gonna play?
and all the injuries are hitting them hectically at the beginning of the season. Okay, then Group B, I'm gonna say Bayern, Tottenham, then Red Star, then Olympiacos.
I agree with that.
I'm gonna go Tottenham on top of Bayern.
If they don't lose Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, that is a big factor in where they finish.
When is this thing gonna end, bro? The transfer window. It's taking long, man.
Doesn't it end this weekend?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
hectic.
Yeah.
Well,
But also Bayern Munich just got Coutinho, so we'll see. Maybe he'll pull some strings for them over there.
Yeah, he's good in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So. Okay, then Group C. I think City obviously top for me.
Yeah.
Then
So maybe for me, it's gonna be close between Shakhtar and Atalanta.
yeah, I was gonna say the same, but it's like it's Atalanta's first time. Their squad's getting a bit old,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say maybe Shakhtar just because they play there regularly. Then Atalanta, then Dinamo Zagreb.
And Shakhtar did give City a run for their money a while back, didn't they? So,
Yeah, two
Yeah.
years ago or
Yeah.
something. So.
They're a decent Champions League team.
yeah,
But they don't
especially
have
away.
Fred. So
Yeah,
Yeah, they lost
secret
Fred,
weapon.
the main man. You know?
Yeah.
And also their game changer who decides all the games for Chelsea now, Willian.
That was years back, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying, they don't have it anymore quite. But yeah. Anything else from that group?
No.
No big predictions.
Mm-mm.
Group D, I feel like it's gonna finish just how it's listed: Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, then Lokomotiv Moscow. Just
Yeah.
I think Atletico Madrid come out of this transfer window a lot weaker
Mm.
than they went to going in. So
Facts.
yeah, I don't think they're gonna go very far in the Champions League altogether, but they definitely make it through the group stage.
yeah. It is weird that Kieran Trippier is in like what's supposed to be the most solid defensive side.
But we'll see if João Felix is up to that price tag, eh?
Facts, because they had Griezmann before, and now they have
Yeah.
to rely on this kid. It's just like.
And the expectations are big.
Don't worry. Diego has them, bro.
That's if he doesn't get a red card, we'll see. But I love that man, what he did for us at Chelsea.
Of course,
Can't
bro.
forget
You
it.
can't hate him, bro. Why hate Diego Costa?
What do you
bro?
mean you can't hate him?
Yeah, but you can't.
No, Diego's one of those players, you can only hate him if he doesn't play for your team.
Facts.
If he plays for your team, you love him, bro.
Yeah. So pretty much most people hate him.
Nah, bro.
He's a personality, and we'll leave it at that.
Mm.
Then Group E,
As I said.
exactly the same. Liverpool, Napoli,
Standard.
Salzburg, Genk.
Mm.
Shout out, Genk.
Okay. Group F, ne?
Pay respects for this group, yes.
Look.
Look,
I don't know. Bro.
I think every away fixture in this game is going to be difficult. Doesn't
That's
matter
true.
who you
Yeah.
are, every away fixture is going to be
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah,
That's true.
because the Czech fans, this is their second time in the Champions
Yeah.
League or something, so they're gonna be going crazy. But yeah, so I'm gonna say, since Spoo doesn't want to say, I'm gonna say Barcelona first, then Inter, then Dortmund, then Prague, because I feel like Dortmund might be focusing on the league this season based off of how close they came last season.
I'm gonna go Inter,
Woo!
Dortmund,
Woo!
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's right. Barca might not even make it through, bro. Cause if they don't have certain players, or the squad doesn't gel very well, whereas Dortmund they're only fixing, they're only upgrading,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
the improvements and the squad depth,
Shout out
Crazy.
Jadon Sancho.
You understand? The squad depth in the Dortmund squad is crazy, bro. Whereas Inter Milan, they just score one goal, bro. They can, that man can defend. Conte.
Oh.
So
The 1-0s in the league this season for Inter Milan are going to be coming,
so
and that's going to make them competitive towards the league.
so I don't know, cause Barca can't like defend basically.
Yeah, especially their defenders are getting old. The ones that actually can defend.
Facts. And also, Inter has Sanchez, and he can break any defense down. So it's
Oh,
gonna be a tough game.
Sanchez, yes, get
And
in there,
Lukaku,
lad.
let's not forget
And
Lukaku.
Lukaku, yeah,
It's
big man.
basically they're representing United in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Inter,
Watch, they're gonna buy Matic before the transfer window closes. I
that's
can-
possible.
That would be a good deal.
Right.
That feels
For everybody, it's just it works.
Yeah, but now they're gonna destroy Inter.
I hope so, bruh. I hope so. Good luck, boys.
okay. And then for the most difficult two groups to predict, let's go Group G. I'm gonna say Lyon just because of how well they did last season. Then Leipzig because they've so far in this window kept most of their players. Then Benfica, then Zenit.
I'm gonna say Lyon because Memphis is gonna kill these
United.
teams.
All the
Yeah.
United players. That's all
And,
Tini speaks about.
Facts. And Benfica because of club heritage, you know.
Yeah.
And then the rest will fall where they fall.
Yeah, also
Zenit,
Benfica
that's
might, just be feeling like a little high because Porto didn't make it for the first time in
Yeah.
forever, so that's why.
Yeah.
Ha!
We're better than you.
I'm gonna go for Lyon, Benfica. I'm gonna go for Zenit, third place. Then Red Bull. I just think Zenit are gonna really use their home game to their advantage because Russia's a very hostile place to go to.
And
Doesn't
they
matter
got
who
Malcolm.
you are. Yeah.
Who's black? Who they're going to be racist to probably, but he's still a good
Nah,
player.
apparently
He's still
apparently
playing.
they've taken him on well, the fans.
So far.
Yeah.
Wait till he misses.
But yeah, I think Zenit are gonna do really well. Well, not really well, but they're gonna finish third place. Because I think they're gonna be pushing for that Europa League spot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Lyon are gonna go through, and then from there I don't know. I think the rest will just be fighting for third place.
yeah.
Whoever gets third place, that's good for them.
What about
There's no
second?
loss. Dog. Share you surviving to play third, bruh.
Can I
Literally
bring up a
lose.
point? Can I bring up a point? Do you guys think that when teams play for like a third place, does that make football boring?
I think it depends.
Yeah.
I think it depends because, like, if for example you look at this group now, you're like, okay, I can finish third.
Yeah.
For example, I'm focusing on finishing third because then, therefore, I'm still gonna be playing European tournaments in the Europa
Yeah.
League. Therefore, I'm still getting revenue. My squad is getting game time, experience.
Yeah.
I'm getting better as a coach and as a team, whatever. And then you can still dominate and you can fancy your chances in the Europa League, for example. Because
Yeah.
now there's always like in the Europa League where it's like, okay, maybe there's 2, 3, 4 teams that are gonna go to the semi-finals, and you're like, hey, yo, look, I'm Lyon. If I can beat City or compete with City, if I'm always in the group, whatever, I can then therefore beat anyone there and hopefully go to the finals.
And I suppose it is easier to predict who's going to be in like the final four in Europa League.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can safely say that Arsenal and United should.
they're
They
favorites.
should. Yeah,
and
they should make it
get
far
there,
in the
but
tournament. So it's very easy to see who you might end up playing. I guess.
I think also I think it's good to know your limits, like to say, okay, we're going for third and that's what we can do. But I think that like when it happens often, it becomes a problem. You
It
know, you
becomes
don't
a
want to be
problem,
Shakhtar, we just like
Yeah.
round of 16 and now we're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because
it's
also
like-
then you sometimes get when teams are ambitious, you get Ajax who made it to the semi-final,
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
made it to the final last year. So It's a
One
big-
thing that's a positive for the Europa is that it becomes competitive because then these teams can then dominate, not
Yeah.
dominate, but like make it competitive.
yeah, there aren't.
Yeah.
You know,
The Europa League isn't the most exciting at group stages if
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
a big team.
yeah.
And also, it is a way to qualify for the Champions League again next season.
Yeah.
Which makes, so like for example, Prague, they qualified through playoffs.
Yes.
For this.
They had to struggle there rather than if they won
Yeah.
the Europa League, which is easier
Yeah.
then.
For example, like if you look at if you're then in the Europa League and you're gonna be facing like Club Brugge, Galatasaray, Shakhtar, I don't know, Bayer Leverkusen, Salzburg,
United, Arsenal.
Dortmund or Inter, Lyon or Leipzig or Benfica,
Oh, Sevilla in Europa League.
Valencia, Lille.
Sevilla
You
gonna win
then
to watch.
it's competitive. You understand?
Yeah.
You know, so I think
Yeah.
that there's both a positive and a negative
Yeah,
side
because
to
also
it.
sometimes it does create games like in the World Cup, England versus Belgium,
Yeah.
where it basically felt like a friendly, where both teams were through and both kind of wanted to finish third, but kind of wanted to win because it's the World Cup. So you're just like, ah.
Yeah.
Like imagine Adnan Januzaj started and scored in a World Cup game. So, but then on to the last group, Group H. This one, I have no idea. Because Ajax, you'd say, okay, definitely Ajax, but like they lost big players for their team last year.
Facts.
So for me, I'm gonna say Chelsea just because it's like they still know we're Chelsea. We're supposed to win this group. They're off of a high, winning Europa League, new manager. So we'll see according to how they do in the league. But then squad depth could be a problem. But I'm gonna still put Chelsea first.
For Chelsea, squad depth. Is that what you said?
Yeah, like high quality squad depth because you have plenty of attacking midfielders, but then it's like, who else do you play at right back?
Or defensive midfield also.
Yeah, so it's just like there isn't that like even there isn't close to like Man City or Dortmund type of squad depth, but it's
I disagree, fam.
But Chelsea, well,
I-
we've got
I
3 weeks to
disagree,
prepare.
Chelsea.
okay. So explain, Spoof.
So the reason why I disagree is I think in these positions, nah, if you look at with our squad depth, I think we can compete, bro. You understand? Because for example, as you stated, maybe there might be a position or two that our squad depth is not the greatest, but we can then fill it up. For example, you understand? For example, keeper Caballero,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Done.
We have plenty of strikers. We have plenty of midfielders. We have wingers. Dog, our squad depth is great, gents. What's the issue here? I don't understand. Like think about it, bro. Okay, I want to hear your points and then I can.
I think I'm not saying this, but I think what I got from him is what he was saying was, you don't have the squad depth to challenge in the Champions League.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying.
In this group,
No, that's
in,
what.
in this group, I think, for example, maybe if one player is missing, the squad might not perform as much. For example, if N'Golo Kante is missing,
Yeah.
the squad might not live up to.
Yeah.
Other than that, we can still compete.
Yeah.
Other than that, we can still compete. I beg to differ. That you look, if this guy's not playing, we can still compete.
I think I'd agree with you there, and that's why my top two would be Ajax, Chelsea. I think that if Lille didn't lose Pepe, it would be a different story for me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think because they lost their guy.
Yeah.
It's like, come on,
Yeah, yeah.
man, you know.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if Kante is not there, for example, we can't we can't defend, or we're
Yeah.
weaker in defense.
Yeah.
For example, but then we still attack, we still create opportunities. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of them taking those chances. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like misunderstood a little bit because I still put Chelsea first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I heard like a squad depth is gonna be an issue. For
I
them.
Because I feel like it's just not as much high quality. Sorry, like I've also been waiting because I didn't get to finish because Spoon jumped in. It's not as much high quality squad depth to make me say Chelsea are gonna win. They're gonna push through and they're easily the best team there because of their squad depth. I'm saying that's why it's made it competitive because of they're not as super high quality squad depth for me.
Yeah, so I think Chelsea definitely have the attacking power to compete. I mean, we have
Yeah.
Giroud, who
Mhm.
proved himself in the Europa League last season that he's a good European striker.
Definitely.
I think it's going to come down to the defense. I mean, we have 3 weeks. Hopefully, Rudiger will be fit in time because I think he is the key player for our European push if we want one. Because he is one of the only players that carries that senior experience into the Champions League with us because, I'm sure as everyone knows, we have quite a young squad this season.
Yeah.
We've lost Hazard.
David Luiz,
Yeah.
Champions League experience.
Willian doesn't play as much anymore.
Yeah.
So we don't go into any of these games with a lot of prior experience and senior players. So hopefully we just get Rudiger back in time. But I'm still confident. I think Chelsea will finish top of the group.
Yeah.
Because, no disrespect to Arsenal, but they proved that Valencia can be beaten at home. And Arsenal were very ropey last season. Again, Ajax have lost a lot of their key players. They lost their captain. They lost.
Arguably their two best players.
Lille. Joking there. No, I think Chelsea will do fine.
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna say Chelsea, Ajax, Lille, Valencia.
That being
You don't
said,
rate Valencia higher than Lille?
No. I feel like Valencia. They also are. I think I saw somewhere that Atletico Madrid are confident of signing Rodrigo, who's their main striker.
Yes.
So it's just they're losing. And Lille, they lost Pepe, but they still have a good team. They signed Renato Sanchez, so. But
Yeah.
it's close.
I wouldn't be surprised if everybody finishes
Anywhere,
Yeah,
whatever
because it's
happens,
just
I
like-
won't be surprised.
It'd just be like, makes sense.
Yeah. Spook. You're.
Chelsea, Ajax, Valencia, Lille, the way it's set up, I think that's the way it's going to finish. But as Tino said, I wouldn't be surprised if anyone finishes
Anywhere.
It can be like Chelsea don't even qualify for Europa League, So
Yeah.
I think that's how things are going to finish. And yeah, I think right now we need to go take a break.
Halftime break, lunch.
Orange slices.
Water break.
Those orange slices.
Amazing.
That was it.
Mama Gooch knows how to cut them oranges, dude. Delicious.
Welcome back. As you've seen, Michael enjoyed halftime. So now we move on from the groups to the awards that were given out. So it was best goalkeeper of the Champions League, defender, midfielder, attacker, then player of it for men and women.
Yeah.
So goalkeeper, Alison Becker. I mean,
There was no competition.
Yeah, who else?
Yeah.
no way.
Nice, well done, Allison.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Come on the show, bro. Come on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a good keeper throughout the whole competition. He helped them through it. So there wasn't really anyone else. Ter Stegen was good. They didn't make it. Lloris was
No.
questionable, as he always is, even though they made it to the final. Onana,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was good.
he was good, but
Not good enough.
so yeah, there really isn't much discussion to be had there.
Oh no. What's the name of that guy from Benfica? Sevilla. The kid, man.
Sevilla.
Sevilla. Yeah, is that him? The goalkeeper.
Uh-oh. We're sorry, folks. There's domestic violence going on in the background.
This could be used as evidence, bro.
Yeah.
What did he say? What did the guy say?
They're on their way.
Apparently the police are on the way from the Honeydew station. Bruh, and if you know where we are, that's far. Honeydew is like other side of town. These people are playing games, bro. Like, that's where I live, bro. That's far.
Yeah. Apparently I agree, that the Van Dijk win over Ronaldo was a robbery.
We're not there yet. So
Hold on.
first of all, Van
Hold your
Dijk,
horses, bro.
Van Dijk did win for defender.
Yeah, no competition there.
Also, again, it's like, who else did good? Delict, but
Maguire.
what?
What?
Man wasn't even in Champions League.
Exactly, that's how good he was.
He
I'm
was
joking.
he wasn't even there.
Yeah,
Champions
he was
League.
just like, whoa.
I mean, yeah. Like, I can't think of anyone else who deserved to be
Hey,
mentioned.
Palunto win, boy.
It's
Yeah.
Camille,
BVD.
Virgil.
Big Verge.
Big Verge.
Virgin gang.
You know what they say in Turkey?
Oh wait, speaking of Turkey, it's rubbish that the finals being held in Istanbul. I'm just saying that.
Why?
Yeah.
Do it,
It's,
explain.
it's gonna be the exact same thing as Baku, for the Europa League final.
Mhm.
Because
Dodge.
let's be realistic, all the teams that are gonna make it to the final.
It's not Galatasaray.
None of those clubs are close to Turkey.
Mhm.
So you're gonna have the same issue where fans, you have to spend a lot of money
Yeah.
just to make, like Chelsea fans and Arsenal fans, they were spending £2,000-3,000
Just
to get to the game.
Shit.
So, I mean, but I suppose Turkey is a bit more friendly.
It's a little better.
traveler
but
friendly
still.
than Kazakhstan.
Mhm.
No, not Kazakhstan.
Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah, Azerbaijan.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I totally guessed that. Give me some.
perhaps for that. But yeah, like I understand like the idea of bringing football or like letting people see those kind of teams they might not get to see
Mhm.
throughout the year. So it's nice in that sense. But in terms of like the traveling fans for those teams, it's not nice. Yeah.
And it should be more about the teams and the fans that made it to the final,
Big facts.
not the ones that just live where they live. Like you should never hold the Champions League final somewhere random.
I feel like they should just build that giant
Build
stadium
the one that they always have.
on the
Where they
adverts.
gonna build it, bro? Where they gonna
They're
build
probably
it?
gonna put that.
I mean,
put
like all continents are not close enough for them
Just
to.
put it like
but that would be
neutral.
cool.
Neutral
You know what
zone,
would be
just
cool
build it on-
if they build it on the sky.
On the sky.
Yeah, helicopters holding it up.
Just on the sky.
Yeah, no, like they.
What happens if
They
the
could put it
helicopter
like-
flops? I was gonna say just like put it out in the ocean a little bit
They could put it like
on its own island.
I feel like put it
But
like
then-
in the UK or
That would
something.
be so much money. Champions League Island. If they're like
That's
hotels.
some
Yeah, but then-
super strikers shit.
Yeah, actually they had that. They had that. And then one was at
They
the
also
top,
had
and
one
then
in the
was on
sky.
Yeah, yeah, I
Did they have
remember.
one in the sky?
Yeah, that.
There was a floating stadium. Remember that?
Yeah.
It only came up from the water when
Yeah.
the games are being played.
Yeah. No,
Super
but
Strikers
then
stuff,
the issue
yes.
with that would like always be like, if that were to happen in real life, would be altitude. Like what you call it?
That's why you don't build in the sky.
No, even in the ocean, bruh. Because now don't you know that your blood cells and your
You know
oxygen
me, I
and
just did
whatever.
that 30 page project on that thing. I know what I'm talking about.
See,
Yeah, but then I'm saying in the
going on about cells and stuff.
in the if you're playing in the city compared to the beach, your oxygen, your breathing,
Yeah.
whatever is very different. You see, so I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the beach is better. It's better when you're down there.
Right.
Yeah, but then
But obviously
teams
if
don't
you-
have
obviously if
time
you're
to
coming
go
up
there and
from-
train.
from-
You
Yeah.
okay?
because-
Let me explain. You're supposed to. So the ideal way to do this is you live high and you train low. So you live at a high altitude, which is like
Shut up, Bob Marley. Shut up, Bob.
Woohoo! So you live at an altitude that's like about I think 2,000 meters, and then you train at a low altitude. So that's what's the most beneficial. But it's-
Examples.
What do you mean examples? Like
Yeah, examples.
I'm saying, what do you mean example?
What's high altitude? That's low altitude.
I just said what's high altitude.
Yeah, examples, bro. Like.
Where is 2,000 meters?
Yeah, I'm
Somewhere
just
near-
like give an example. Like I don't know. It's under the ground.
Isn't
Mount
Joburg,
Everest.
isn't Joburg Island in Cape Town?
Yes.
Yeah, like we hit there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Escarpment.
So the point is basically live in Joburg, train in Cape Town, even though that makes no sense because you're supposed to live there. Like go down for the day, train, go back and like live there again. But basically the point is, it helps to do it at that high. No matter what altitude is that same altitude for everyone. It's up to you what training camps you do and what training camps you go to. And it wouldn't make that much of a difference for a team sport. So it affects more things like running and cycling, which you do long distance running in soccer, football, but it's not, it's like I think it's like a 2 to 3% difference, which is then it's like, that also just depends on the athlete, because it's like Milner can run 13 kilometers, whereas, okay, now that was a bad example, Scott McTominay, because he ran 12 something. Some other guy can, Götze? Yeah, he can run 8.5 kilometers, so it just depends more on the athlete, so it's not, that massive for a team event. That's not based on that.
Not how we got
But
here.
then Hudson, don't forget in soccer they take these low percentages really high. So not likely.
What?
Not likely. So like that 2 and 3% difference in
Yeah.
soccer they take it.
Yeah, that's why I'm
a
saying it's
massive
up to
difference.
the
You
team
understand? So I'm saying,
to decide what
Uh,
training they do to prepare for it.
why did you have this argument? What is your point?
No, your
I'm
point was
trying to
saying
understand. Yeah.
you were
I'm
saying
trying
that
to
it's
get you.
bad that they have it at sea level because of the oxygen levels and whatever.
No, but I'm saying when they have it there, it's gonna be difficult for them to go there and train and be nice. You understand? Because if they live in the city and then they go there, they won't adapt really quickly. Because don't forget, at the end of the season, they only have like how many? A week up until the Champions League, right? Or how many weeks? 2 weeks. Some teams after that they have to
But teams usually
relax.
go to the venue.
They go to the venue like
Yeah.
three
Like 3
days
days before,
prior.
yeah.
But before that they have to like rest and whatever.
Yeah, and that's
You
not enough
understand?
time to
And
get
that's
to
not
the-
enough time for them to
depends what
adapt.
league you're in. This depends what league you're in. But because some, like for
FA
example,
Cups later on or something like that.
no, but I mean like for example, the French league carries on way after that, doesn't it? Like after the Champions League final.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Champions League final is like the last.
Yeah, it's the last.
Yeah.
But I
30th
think
May.
what he's saying, I think if the Premier League ends now, there's a league that ends later.
Okay,
I
that's
see,
what
I
I'm
see,
saying.
Yeah, the
yeah,
Premier
yeah,
League
yeah,
will.
yeah.
Yeah, like the Bundesliga, I think ends first or something because
Yeah.
it has the least games.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's just-
so then that would be an issue because sometimes they'll be like, yo, don't tough. It's an unfair advantage because your team finished first. So therefore, you guys
But it's the
have
same.
more rest
That's
time.
that's
You
the
have-
same for wherever they hold the Champions League final.
No, it's not. Traveling times. Why is it the same, bruh?
We're saying we're trying to decide.
No,
like,
but we're trying to decide a stadium, bruh.
Yes,
So
that's
this
what
is
I'm
why
saying.
we must fight
If
because
it's-
we
that's
want a
exactly
fair
what I
stadium.
just said. That's exactly what I just
No, you
said.
didn't
It's
say
the
that.
same stadium, so no matter what, it's going to be different travel times. No matter whether you put it low, you put it high, you put it where it rains. You put
And
it,
by the beach. Also,
Yes,
the
that's
big
true.
beach
But then
conversation.
it's the same stadium, aware.
Yeah.
But then you guys had more rest than us. No, wait.
Mhm.
You guys had more rest than us. But you're only allowed to go to the venue at a specific time, I think. Yeah.
So your point is that we shouldn't have a neutral stadium like we've said this whole time.
They should fix that.
Okay, so
They
basically,
should have a neutral stadium, but I said we should have a stadium in the sky,
it's
bro. What
good.
you listening?
but then it doesn't make sense your argument that they have different rest times. Then there's
They
no
do
argument
have
there
different
because
rest times, bro.
yes, I know. That's what I'm saying. Then it doesn't matter where you put the stadium. No matter what, there's going to be different times in between each team playing and then the final. No matter
We'll
where
fix
you
that
put the
out. We'll
stadium.
fix that argument. So during the podcast, I'll say my points.
Look, this is the podcast. So there's an island. We call it Champions League Island, right? And there's a stadium on
Or
the island.
Where's the island?
The
Or
island is in
you
an
make it like
island
Ibiza
just
or
off.
something.
Yeah, yo, that'll work so well.
We should make
right?
the island in Africa, bro.
I feel like
But
the
then it
island
wouldn't
has
be
to be
the
like
UEFA.
close to Europe.
Yeah, that's
European.
what, like-
Yeah,
Because
Ibiza.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then don't forget, guys. Where do you, besides Europe, I think it's in Africa that generates most money for European competitions.
Africa been
I
doing
think,
everything,
I
bro.
think, I think you
Shout
guys
out
should
Bob
come.
Marley,
If you
bro.
guys are gonna go and
Your
take La
Champions
Liga
League final
to-
coming to Rwanda.
yeah,
That's
bro,
lit, bro.
they should do that, bro. Like players should.
Were we not just having the
Yeah.
point that it's not nice when it's in a place where the fans have to travel far?
But we are the fans.
We are
what
the
makes
fans,
them
bro.
more fans than us?
Decide.
What makes them more
Decide
fans?
and
I didn't say that. I didn't say. He said that. And I was like, yeah, that's true. I didn't say, yo, that's my point. I'm strongly against it. But we are fans, bro. Come here.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
count now. We
Yeah.
don't count.
Like look at one of the greatest sporting events in history somewhere. Boxing. Where is it?
The KSL
Yeah,
ball
Congo.
fight. That was a good
Congo, bro. Congo. Is,
Congo.
yeah, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
Rumble in the jungle.
Rumble in the jungle.
It was in the jungle, and the jungle is where?
Where's the jungle? bro?
Congo.
The jungle is burning.
Amazon? Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, we care, guys.
Stoke City, nah. They must.
It's Buo Fisherman's.
They must
Wing
hold the
instead of
Champions League
Buo
final in a
Beach.
cold, wet, rainy night in Stoke.
And see if Messi will do those things.
But then that's not okay because they don't have enough time to adapt and they finish earlier than them and then the weather and the blah 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 blah.
And he can't speak the language also.
Yeah, you see,
Let's
can't
get back to that.
What a segue. Get it segue because, yeah, you don't.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah.
Videos.
Okay, so
Frankie de Jong did not deserve midfield of the
Big
year.
facts.
so yeah, midfield. We'll just move on to that.
How do they rate that? What's the
Somehow.
criteria?
They don't have
I think it's-
criteria, bro.
They just liked him, and it was like, oh, Frankie De Jong, new player, young player, Ajax, moving to Barca, makes sense. Woo!
Like how do you rate a midfielder?
Yeah.
Is it like passes, tackles, goals?
Goals, assists? Because then, like, surely did they count Ziyech and Tadic as forwards then?
Yeah.
Because they were both better than Frankie.
But aren't they wingers
in
anyway?
terms of that?
Especially Ziyech, isn't he a winger? So he'd be a forward anyway.
I think Ziyech just played as a winger, but his natural position is in like attacking midfield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's-
but then
So
also
is Tadic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who decides? Who decides these things?
But then
the
Ajax they
journalists.
play total football, so don't box them, man.
Yeah, don't fuck anybody.
Remember, they don't have as much money as Tottenham. That was such like a pointless argument that the Ajax manager made. last season.
we don't have as much
We
money.
don't have as much
Tottenham.
money as Tottenham. People don't watch us on TV over here. Like we're gonna lose and then come on, man. You guys bottled that lead.
And they did spend more money than Tottenham, I'm sure. That
Yeah.
transfer window.
Yeah, Frankie. So then, if Frankie Young didn't deserve it, who should have got it?
I think the other nominees were Wijnaldum and Henderson, who's like,
Come on, we can't have Liverpool.
Yeah, we go. Just
Come on, now.
it doesn't work.
Gotta add some, as the guy said, for spice.
so
we have to mix it up.
Because like for me, if De Jong is gonna take it, Wijnaldum's performances weren't there.
and the goals against Barcelona.
Yeah, even besides the goals, nah. Wijnaldum's performances weren't as. They were the same, or just okay. They were the same level as this guy, as De Jong. Now,
And
if you're gonna
Liverpool
put
went
at
to the final.
goals and assists, Wijnaldum wins.
And they went to the final. And they won the final.
And they also played together in the national team. So it's not like De Jong won by far. You know, it's like
Yeah.
really exceptional that season. It's like, nah, dog.
Yeah.
You guys were just excited about it.
Yeah, because he's young and that's all. Yeah, maybe Ericsson because he also went to the final, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
always instrumental in that midfield, as we can see. Without him, they suck.
Yeah. Leave, bruh.
Okay, and then forward, Messi.
Yeah, it's just like yeah, FIFA.
Whatever.
FIFA's puss. Were they gonna choose anybody else, bruh? Come on,
Never.
bro.
They even gave him the goal of the season for that free kick, which it's a good free kick, but it's like, come on,
Goal of the
it's a
season.
free kick.
What are the nominees for goals of the season?
I don't remember all of them, because I mean,
Yeah, there are a lot.
there was a lot. Because you know, obviously it's Messi versus Ronaldo, so you notice when Ronaldo's in there, the like volley he scored against United, that was like long ball over the top, wow, straight in. So that one was, I think, better. But then, so yeah, out of all the nominations, Messi's was like down there for what I felt like at least. But you know, I don't get to decide.
Messi is like, am I saying too far from the mic? Messi is like an IG hun, you know, like just really pretty. And whatever they do as a baseline is just exaggerated, you know, because it's like so good. Because they're pretty, you know? That's Messi. He plays a pretty football.
Messi is a fashion over babe.
Exactly that. He's an IG thought. And because he does, he looks pretty when he plays. And then people are like, oh, and he did this, let's just give it to him because
Yeah.
he deserves
Because
it.
he's Messi.
Yeah, and he's pretty. And that's all, bruh.
But at least they didn't give the player of the season, a player of the Champions League award to him. Big
Yeah.
Verge, well done.
Shut up.
He got his final off over Ronaldo. Yeah. Ronaldo had some jokes.
That interview was hilarious between the lady, Messi, Ronaldo, and Van Dijk.
Well, between Ronaldo and Messi because Van Dijk was just left there on
Yeah,
the corner.
third
dude.
wheeling.
As he was called the new kid.
Yeah.
The new kid on the block.
Yes, man, he's like 27, isn't
Yeah.
he? He's old.
Yeah.
God.
And then he did say it's great being amongst these two great players, but at the end of the day, we'll see.
Yeah.
And he won.
He won, boys.
I will say this, like, there was a lot of banter going on, but I don't feel like there was any, like, there wasn't any mean-spiritedness. That's
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
nobody was like, Ronaldo wasn't like, yeah, and I beat this guy.
Ronaldo,
You
there's
know?
maybe a little bit in there where he's like, great season, we beat Holland in the final, and like
I
points
think he
and
was
looked
just,
at him
I
and
think he
laughed.
was just being funny. I think
Yeah.
it was just, yeah, you know, it's like,
He knows how to
yeah,
get
dog.
reactions from the crowd and
Work
say
the
the right
crowd.
things at the right
He's a
time.
showman.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not like he would have changed the decisions because, like, he'd have already
Yeah,
been voted.
it has
so,
been
yeah,
done. So
wasn't campaigning. But it's like, yeah, man, that's cool. You know, otherwise it would have been really stiff. Imagine a Van Dijk Messi interview. Van Dijk he can hold his own, but Messi's boring, man.
Yeah, Messi's boring.
I can't even speak English.
Because he's an IG thought. I'm telling you guys, bro. Where's the
Hopefully,
professionals,
maybe
bro?
one day Messi will have dinner with Ronaldo, as Ronaldo said. It hasn't happened yet.
And hopefully Messi will be able to understand some English in the future.
yo, that lady is savage. She's talking about Liverpool coming to Van Dijk about Liverpool coming back, and then she just touches Messi's arm in a very what felt like a patronizing way. It's like, hopefully he doesn't understand that much English. I was like, ha, yo.
And Ronaldo doesn't miss an opportunity again because she asked Messi a question and then he answered in Spanish. Then Ronaldo's like, should I answer in Spanish or should I answer in English? And
Flex.
you give me, boy, not my guy. Not my guy. Ronnie. Uncle Ronnie. Uncle Ron.
Uncle.
Yeah, man. The award ceremony was Wesley Schneider. Boy, man was funny. It was very entertaining.
Just if you watched
Took the
his
balls.
face.
My team.
He did say, like Galatasaray. Inter Milan.
You started with Ajax. Ajax.
And then all the other teams just like,
Yeah, dog, straight face.
he looks funny. And it just he looks funnier because he got a bit fat.
Just, he got
I
It
think
just-
he got fake, bro.
He
Bro, it's hot
Wow.
all summer and Schneider's gaining. And
Yeah,
it's
but
cool.
he couldn't have gained that much weight
He's bulky.
for other reasons,
Yeah.
bruh. Like, he's either bulking or he's really depressed because he just retired not so long ago. And as a sportsman, you're not supposed to gain that much weight in that period of time.
yeah, because
So
Peter Cech
he's bulking or he's depressed.
Or they cook really nice food at home.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you-
either way,
he was,
either way,
no, or
he
he
was
was
going to be
celebrating his
Yeah,
career.
and either way, he was going to be in that space. He was going to be like that eventually, because you could see it from a long time. But you can tell with people's body structures, types.
Like Rooney's definitely heading in that direction. Luke
Guys
Shaw is
like
gonna
that
get
too.
there.
So
Cantona did it and we don't judge him.
No, but Cantona's still it's not quite. It's like because he's also a lot older and he looks it's
Yeah.
like more classy. I don't know what it is.
Also, the Dutch like beer. Is that racist?
No.
The Dutch like beer. And it makes sense because you swell up a little bit. You have
Yeah,
a little bit
beer.
of a beer pins. Yeah, and it's
A lot.
We don't judge you, Wesley. We don't judge you.
You can't do worse than Maradona.
Oh. Oh,
Maradona gave Cantona a bump before he went on to his speech, dog. He was like, "Come smell." What does it smell like?
I love football.
Yeah, but that's why I was just stroking his beard the whole time. That man was high, bro. That man was gone.
Did you see the cameras once he was saying his speech? There was a time where he said, "I love football," and then they moved on to someone
audience
else,
members.
the audience members, and
Like,
I was like,
They're all like we're all like because we're sitting like that as well watching the speech like
Mid-speech when I cut to Ronaldo, just
Van Dijk and Messi are sitting there trying to be professional, just
Yeah.
like expressionless. I was like, and then they cut to this one guy in the crowd who like everyone starts clapping. He's like,
What?
that was the weirdest thing from that night. No, Cantona's on some stuff.
Bro, for real. And you could tell Ronaldo's reached that point in his career because he grew out of the stage of like, I'm excited for the awards,
Yeah.
and then he went to like, oh no, they're not gonna pick me, I'm not gonna go. Now he just goes and like he just.
Yeah, man
does
was there
those-
relaxing.
Yeah, he's
like he took his jacket off.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he
he
put it
was-
in his
he even
lap,
changed
like,
positions
just
as well.
chilling, just
Yeah.
chilling.
Yeah.
Chatting with Messi. Also, I like Van Dijk because he was like, well done to all the people who won the awards that walked past him. I like him.
Yeah.
Even that oak that ran for Burnley, dude.
Yeah, what? What?
Yes.
The guy that.
Burnley, bro. I know who he's talking
Yeah.
about. I'm just like,
Yeah.
you know
That
what?
equals-
What is,
Nonsense. Well, not nonsense, but you know what I'm saying.
Exposed. Michael's racist.
You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. That's the title right there. Dude. Chelsea fan Mike exposed racist.
Oh,
This
Okay.
badge does something
Once,
to you, eh?
once again, another Chelsea fan.
yeah.
But before we move on, also shout out to Lucy Bronze for winning
yeah,
the
shout out
women's
to Lucy Bronze.
player.
England.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
coming home. Yo, Leon just dominates.
Yeah, all three
All three
nominees,
nominees
were from Leon.
How can you have basically three of the best players in the world doing their best in one team at the same time?
That's crazy.
It's not fair.
Also, I think Man United's best player, because our female part started last year.
Yeah.
I think she also went to Lyon now. Like they took our best player, Dan, and just like boop.
Oh, really?
Also,
Yeah.
City, Manchester City's women are like one of the best teams in England now.
Yeah,
So-
well, man.
Money.
Well, we would know if they showed the games on TV here. Supersport, get your shit together.
Please.
With hard sports.
Because obviously the Women's World Cup was a very good,
Yes.
I
No,
guess
it
you could
was.
say, marketing to show how good the women's game is and how entertaining it is.
And like, what better time to introduce it to TV than right after a World Cup?
Yeah.
Fact.
At least the Champions League to start off with.
Yeah, because I want to be able to watch some of it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's nice watching football. Football's football.
And it's nice to have choice.
Football's football, not for fat, not for skinny.
Oh no.
That's the best
But he
one.
was like, football's
no.
for everyone. He was like, football's not for fat, not for skinny, because he like said not for fat. Paused, laughed. The lady who was like the main host lady, she also laughed awkwardly. So what? He was like, not for skinny, not for small, not for tall, not for whatever.
So yeah, the theory is like Cantona, Maradona, and that guy all like just got super
The
high.
president was like,
backstage.
why are you excited about this award? He's like, because, what did he say?
It's the
Because
only award that I
It's
can
the only
choose.
award I get to choose.
Yeah.
What the heck?
And this man, then they ask him why'd you give it to him, and then he just starts like stuttering noise or like mumbling over his words, like he's the guy and he's done
He did a lot
charity
for-
sometimes.
Gave up his year for the kids. And
Yeah, no.
played football.
He's an actor.
He was
said
an
that.
actor.
Yeah.
What?
Voice over artist.
He
Okay.
said that. He said that. That was funny.
No, that was weird. Also, the lady, she also, I feel like she might have been in on that little party in the beginning.
In fact,
She was a little weird
It
the
was
whole
either
time.
her or the person that was in her earpiece, bro.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
She'd say things, bro. It was like, or stutter, you know. It's like, you know.
It was fun.
What did she say to that guy from Burnley that came up for his reward? Like, oh, we're
We're
in Europe
in-
now.
yeah, we're
We're in Europe
we do
now.
2 kisses here. We do 2 kisses.
We're in Europe now. It's like, oh.
Yeah,
I-
because he gave her 1 kiss, right?
Yeah.
That's fine.
We're in, how are you making Brexit jokes there?
Brexit means Brexit.
Oh my goodness.
That thing, if you didn't watch it this year, either rewatch that one and then watch it next year. It was way more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. Just
Yeah.
because they all had a good time. They had the pre-party.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 1 award show that I think I've watched for like football.
Yes, also because
Yeah.
they didn't have a musical performance. Those are always horrible for those shows. They're so cringy every time. No one wants to watch it. The crowd's just sitting there.
Patrice Evra was there, dog. What is he doing?
I love these games.
Yeah. Cantona still-
He told Cantona what to say.
Yeah.
But then Cantona messed it up.
Patrice Evra seems like he would be the drug dealer. You
Oh,
know?
definitely.
Just like spreading joy all over.
That's what he calls it.
Yeah.
Want some joy?
I just want to share. Don't be jealous.
Yeah. Don't be jealous, guys. Oh my goodness. I like how we just uncovered the whole drug ring behind
Football?
Yeah, as a whole.
There will be no podcast next week, as we will all be killed
Yeah.
by UEFA.
The
Hopefully
missile's coming back.
we'll have enough time to upload it before then. I mean, you'll know if you know. You won't if we're dead. It's not live, like Spoo said a couple of weeks ago.
It is live because
It's-
we're treating it live.
It's live because we're here and we're alive. But you know,
We will be dead someday,
it's just.
and then it won't be live
Was it
anymore.
because of UEFA?
Well, no, we won't be dead because remember, science.
Science.
Oh
history.
yeah, we'll slow down.
The
way.
only things that will kill us are wars and crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love
Accidents.
football.
Yeah.
I love football.
In that case, we should close off. I think. That's it.
3, 2, 1. I love football.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next week. Peace.
Out.
3, 2, 1.
I love football.